Welcome to this 20-minute breathwork practice with myself, Kate Morris Bates. I'll be doing a short introduction before starting the meditation. It's my pleasure to share this practice with you. It's called Shamatha, which is a Sanskrit word that translates loosely into peaceful abiding or calm abiding. And the aim of this exercise is that rather than trying to manipulate, or bully, or justify our mental state into some other kind of mental state other than the one we're experiencing, we learn to abide peacefully with our mind exactly as it is, however that manifests in the moment. Now, this can seem counterintuitive because many of us come to meditation practice wanting more peace of mind, wanting to transcend our chaotic mental state. But this is not really how it works. By having a container, which this practice provides for us to examine our mind in, we familiarise ourselves with ourselves in that moment. So by allowing the mind to be as it is, we're actually ceasing the struggle or the war with our mind. Even though the mind may well be agitated, we may feel very sad or despondent or angry. By allowing the mind to rest in its state of anger or despondency. But for that moment, we are encouraging peacefulness, even though the mental state might feel negative. So in order to do that, there's been a practice, which is what we're going to do today, which is called Shamatha. And it is comprised of 3 aspects of mindfulness, which we'll do together now. The first aspect of mindfulness in this practice is called mindfulness of the body, and it's our posture. It relates all to the posture. I'll go through all of the details, and it is detailed, so please bear with me and please feel free to replay this recording if you're not quite sure what I said. But it is important because it's said that the body and the mind follow each other, and I truly believe this. So by having a very specific posture, the mind is encouraged to follow suit. So let's get started in our posture. So we're going to start from the bottom up with the legs crossed. You can even wiggle around a bit, just feel that your sit bones are connecting to the cushion. You know, they need to be really connected, like a plug in a wall socket. Some people like to tuck their legs in, which is fine, and it's also equally good to sit in a chair. If you're sitting in a chair, though, please make sure that you're connected to the seat and the feet are flat on the ground in front of you. And from this strong base, the spine will rise up naturally. There's a natural curve to the spine, which we maintain so that we're maintaining a healthy level of tension, but not rigidness. And let's come to the head. The chin needs to be very slightly tucked in, just to release tension, and the jaw is relaxed. A little tip to see if your jaw is relaxed, just connect with where your tongue is placed in the mouth. If the tip of your tongue is on the roof of your mouth, chances are your jaw is tense. Just let the tongue fall back and rest on the back of your teeth, and let the jaw fall slack. So the teeth need to be slightly parted, and as I said, the tongue rests at the back of the teeth. The lips may be closed or slightly parted. Hands rest palm down on the thighs. You can drop the arms to the side if you wish, bending them at a 90-degree angle, and just let them fall where they land. And Shamatha practice can be an open-eyed meditation practice or a closed-eyed meditation practice. It's entirely your choice. We don't need to look at anything in particular. We're just simply allowing the eyes to rest in the function of function and seeing. This can seem counterintuitive because we're just so used to grabbing information with our eyes. But the jerkiness, the awkwardness of this is all part of the practice. And it's okay. So, when we find a fixed point on the floor, maybe about 3 or 6 foot in front of us, just fix your gaze in a relaxed manner on that point. Just allowing the environment to be. It's like we're kind of staring into space, but at a fixed point. We're not looking at anything in particular. The eyes can rest and it's okay to blink. So this is mindfulness of body, and the posture is the practice. So we've reaped the benefits of meditation practice just by holding the body in this way. So let's come on to the second aspect of mindfulness, and this is mindfulness of breath. And if you've listened to my other two audio recordings, we've done some practice around breath work, and I do encourage you to listen to those before starting this one. So the mindfulness of breath is the focus of meditation. Typically, we place our attention on our thoughts, our regrets, remembering stuff, our feelings, our to-do list, all of those sorts of things, which is absolutely fine. We're in no way trying to stop thinking in this practice. We're just simply shifting the spotlight of our attention away from those plans to the felt sensation of breathing in and out through the nose, or a normal breath. So by shifting our attention away from our thoughts, they're still there in the background. We're just simply placing our attention or our mindfulness on what it feels like to breathe. However you register this tactile experience, maybe the coolness of air as it passes over your nostrils, your chest, the rising and falling of your belly, or the expanding and contracting of your muscles, we're placing our attention on what it feels like to breathe. This is mindfulness of breath. And lastly, we have mindfulness of mind. So we have much more practice placing our attention on our thoughts. So we've practiced that much more. So it's no big surprise that at some point our thoughts will very likely pull us away from the breath. We're just used to thinking all the time rather than focusing on our breath. This isn't a problem. When we notice this has occurred, it's a spontaneous recognition of our awareness. It's kind of the magic moment of the practice. Some parts of our mind recognizes that our attention has drifted from the task at hand, which is to focus on our breath. But when we notice this, we can gently come to our awareness. Even imagine holding the thought that pulled us away and then letting it go like a pebble in the sea, gently guiding the attention back to the breath. And this is what we repeat again and again. And this is our practice. So please hold space for you. Get yourself into the posture which I've just described. And when you're ready, we'll begin. By holding the body very still, it lets it see the contrast of what continues to move. The mind can be quite agitated, like water in the wake of a ship. But much of this agitation is an aftershock. We keep returning our attention to the breath, breathing in and out. By returning our attention to the breath, we are able to ride out the waves of mental agitation as we slowly settle into our breathing and our thoughts settle in their own time. Should one of these waves of thought carry us out and we notice we've drifted, this is our awareness arising, and a moment to continue the practice. Just simply notice the thought, let it go, and return to the breath. Repeat that. Think about the posture. By holding the body very still, it lets it see the contrast of what continues to move. Observe the breath. The mind can be quite agitated, like water in the wake of a ship. But much of this agitation is aftershock. Connect with the breath. We keep returning our attention to the breath. And when we return our attention to the breath, we are able to ride out the waves of mental agitation as our thoughts slowly settle in their own time. Bring your focus back to the breath. Should one of these waves of thought carry us out, we will notice when we've drifted. This again is our awareness rising and is a gift of the moment to continue the practice. Just simply notice the thought, let it go, and return to the breath. Connect with the breath. Reconnect again with the body. You're holding the body very still. It lets you see the contrast of what continues to move. Connect with the breath. The mind can be quite agitated, like water in the wake of a ship. But much of this agitation is aftershock. Back to the breath. We need to keep returning our attention to the breath. And when we do so, we are able to ride out the waves of mental agitation and accept that they will slowly settle in their own time. Stay connected with your breath. Should one of these waves of thought carry us out, we will notice when we've drifted. And this, again, is our awareness rising. And it's a moment to continue with the practice of mindfulness meditation. Just simply notice the thought, let it go, and return to the breath. When you are ready, and only when you are ready, bring awareness slowly and gently to the room around you. Lift your eye gaze, open your eyes, blink a few times, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Take a deep breath. And one final breath to complete the practice. Thank you for sharing this practice with me. I hope it's a benefit to you and it will carry you through in your meditation this week.